Pa?
I'm making something.
What you making, Pa?
Box.
What's that?
A box.
What you making a box for? Can we help you, Pa?
Just take your possum and go, boy.
We want to help, Pa.
No.
It's so pretty.
I made it myself, Mama, with the cardboard that you keep behind the fridge and the Crayolas I got for Christmas.
And what do you have there, dear?
I didn't want you to be lonely, Mama, so I found you this toad.
He's lovely, dear. Just like our favorite book, Frog and Toad.
You'll never guess what I named him, Mama. Frog.
You wore your pretty white dress.
Pa's taking us to church when we say goodbye.
I don't want to go to church, Mama. I want to stay with you.
You go to church and you sit still. And you take Mr. Frog and you let him outside. He'd like to be outside.
What about you, Mama?
I'd like to be outside too.
Lisa Schumann don't go to church because her pa says Jesus ain't real. She says only a trash McGregory would believe something like that.
You don't listen to no godless German, America McGregory. You got that?
Yes, ma'am.
Jesus is real.
Did you ever see him, Mama?
Any day. You say goodbye now, kids. Your pa's waiting outside. You go to church and see Jesus. You go to church
Yes,
and see Jesus. You say goodbye now.
I don't want to say goodbye, Mama.
Oh, Chip. I don't want to say goodbye neither.
Let's eat.
Ain't we gonna pray?
You do it, America.
You have to do it, Pa. It's supposed to be the man of the house.
You go to church and see Jesus.
Well, now who appointed you the perfect little keeper of how it's supposed to be?
It's what's right, Pa.
Chip, you do it. If that's all right with you, Miss America.
Dear Jesus, please let my mom be alive again, and let my pa not be sad. Amen. Amen.
You gonna pray tomorrow, Pa?
You mind your tongue, America.
I wasn't saying nothing.
You just mind your tongue.
Are you going to church tomorrow, Pa?
Pa, I think Ma would like us to go to.
Sure, we'll go to church tomorrow. We'll ask the preacher how God dreamt up cancer. There ain't no God at that church. There ain't no God where your ma went neither.
What is there, Pa?
Just dirt. Just dirt.
Ma didn't think so.
Don't make me take off my belt, America.
Ma didn't think so, Chip. Ma didn't think so.
Can I walk to church with America tomorrow, Pa?
Bunch of foolishness if you ask me, but I guess it's your call.
I'm gonna go to church and see Jesus.
I'm glad you came to church with me this Sunday,
Always
Chip.
welcome to come back to church with us, Chip.
Now, Chip, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen you in church for nigh on 20 years. I was in love with a pretty little gal. When I went away, folks assumed some right bad things about me. Turned out, I wasn't as welcome in church as I used to be. Guess it wasn't the place for an old sinner like me. Guess it wasn't the place for an old sinner like me. Guess it wasn't the place for an old sinner like me.
Ma didn't think so. Lisa Schumann.
I'm gonna go to church and see Jesus.
You are now entering the Ville. Proceed with caution.
What the? Oh, for Pete's sake.
Who is it, hon?
It's Chip. Chip, you okay? Chip. What's that? Chip, dang it all, it's 2 a.m. No, Chip. No, the bagels are supposed to have holes in them. No, there's no such thing as a bagel gremlin, and if there was, he wouldn't make holes. Because that's exactly what the bagel people would want. That's right. Playing into their hands. You got it, Chip. But that leads back up to the first point, which is there ain't no bagel gremlin, Chip. If I had to, I don't know, holy water, I guess. No, I was just sleeping, that's all. Yeah, all right. But wait, hey, Chip. I know I say this every Saturday, but you're welcome to come to church tomorrow. Me and Laura think you should. Right, huh?
We think you should go to bed.
Hey, but remember what you promised last month. Next time you come to church, if you do come back, no more bows, no more arrows, no more firearms, no more possums. Well, yeah, because they'd have my head. Okay, well, we'd sure love to see you. No, the bagel gremlin's not real. Yeah, I think he could probably be turned to good. What's that? A bagel goodlin, I guess. I don't know. Okay, have fun.
Anything wrong?
No.
You want a bagel? Kinda want a bagel.
Apparently there's a gremlin who feels the same way.
Is he taking his meds?
Yeah, he takes his brain pills, mostly, I think.
I'm gonna make bagels this morning.
Cinnamon bagels?
We could do pizza bagels.
For breakfast? What kind of redneck do you think I am?
The big, strong kind.
Big and strong, huh?
What's wrong?
Chip.
He's just being Chip, ain't he?
This has been worse lately. Sometimes I think it's more than just the brain pills and stuff. I wish he'd come back to church.
Well, you never know, Lance.
You know how it is, Laura. We always looked out for each other.
You looked out for him.
Chip's done more than his fair share.
I know.
I don't know, hon. He's friends with everybody, but I'm his only real close friend, right? But if he just came back to church, he could just kind of...
What?
Settle down, you know?
He needs to marry that girl.
What, the one he won't even call his girlfriend?
He needs to marry that girl.
I've told him that. He's never been the same since...
I know. Maggie Jo Jukman, Afghanistan.
Well, sure, but I mean... If Erica would just...
Chip and Erica is not your fault, Lance.
Sometimes.
Not your fault, Lance Redford.
I mean, I believe you, but...
You should believe me, but you don't.
I ain't dumb enough to think I'm going to change Erica McGregory. I ain't invented the way to do that
Rose
yet.
Bloom. And you didn't change her the first time, neither. That woman. Did y'all have to let her back on every committee at church?
She gets things done.
I get things done.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I hear you make good pizza bagels.
You want a pizza bagel?
Oh, baby. I just wish Chip would come to church.
Oh, honey, let's face it. It probably won't happen.
Put on your bow tie, Pink Eye. We're going to church. Hey, Claire. You ready, Claire?
Good morning, Chip. And Pink Eye, a lemon square from my favorite possum.
You sure do love your lemon squares, Claire. Hey, possums and lemon squares. Does anything make more sense than that?
No, indeed. I wore my best dress, as requested. And where are we off to this fine Sunday morning?
I was kind of thinking we could go to church.
Well, of course I'd love to, but I didn't think you attended.
I don't. But then, me and Pink Eye caught a toad yesterday, and that made me think about another toad from long ago, and naturally that led to pondering my dead mother. And then, Lance got on me about it when I called him about the bagel gremlin, and I thought Lance would sure be surprised to see me at church after all these years.
That does make sense.
Yeah, you too, Pink Eye. Of course possums look good in bow ties. Well, sure, I know you're a girl, but marsupial fashion is nothing if not fluid.
Chip, are you sure it's a good idea to bring Pink Eye to church?
Old Pink Eye is like a member of the family, Claire. Aren't you, girl?
Of course she is, but even so...
Well, actually, I wasn't planning on it, Claire, till I asked Lance if I should leave her at home, and he said, no, more possums.
Are you sure that's what he said, Chip?
I remember it like it was yesterday, 'cause it was. Should I leave my possums at home, Lance?
No more possums, Chip.
No, more possums.
Perhaps Pink Eye should ride in your possum pouch for now.
The one I got built into my suspenders?
Well, how many possum pouches do you have on your person, Chip?
The things I could show you if we were married, Claire. Like my favorite rainbow hubcap. I found it by the side of the road.
Yes, well, if it's matrimony you're after, you could always start by asking me to be your girlfriend.
You know I can't do that, Claire.
Chip, it's been over 20 years.
Since what?
I don't want to hurt your feelings, Chip, but I just don't think...
What?
That Maggie Jo is coming back.
Hadn't thought of it like that before.
You... what?
I always figured she'd be back one day. I just figured she got stuck. You know how people kind of get stuck, and then they can't seem to move forward, even if it's all in their head. You kind of give them a hint. Maybe it's time to take some action, but they somehow contrive to ignore it.
Well, let me give you a hint. I'd really like to be in a relationship, Chip. Like, really, in a relationship.
Do you think anyone's ever been crushed to death by cornflakes? Get in the pouch, Pink Eye. We're almost to church.
What are you hoping to find at church, Chip?
You believe in Jesus, Claire?
Yes, I do.
Well, I do too, I think. But I kind of lost him, if you know what I mean. But since I've been going on these protective details with you,
Some might call them dates.
why would they do that?
Fiddlesticks.
Anyhow, since I've been spending more time with you somehow, I've been thinking more about the past.
And what have you decided?
There's this book I like. It's called Where's Waldo? You familiar?
Oh, yes.
Sometimes I feel like life is kind of like Where's Waldo? And Waldo is the thing that if you could just find it, he'd make sense of everything. But though you search and search the bustling streets, and though many are dressed in similar striped attire, and thereby many false Waldos present themselves, try as you might year after year, you cannot find the scamp.
Perhaps it's the search for Waldo that gives life meaning.
No, I don't think so, Claire. I mean, by that way of reasoning, it wouldn't matter none if there was no Waldo to be found, but a Waldo-less Waldo book, that'd be chaos. Anyway, thought it would be good to go to church. Don't you think so, Claire?
Well, certainly couldn't hurt. I mean, who's standing in our way?
Quentin Seltzer. Yes, sir, that is my name. And pastoral interning is my game, for those of you who don't know. As pastoral intern of this church, I've been tasked with putting together a security team in the wake of the Brady Hawkins Day disaster. I did choose you because you were the best and the brightest. After all, this church doesn't have 15 of me. You know why I chose you?
Because we have what it takes, sir!
I like your spirit, Pyle. Yes, you have what it takes. And what does it take to be on a security team for a large church like FCS? One word, tasers.
Did the Elders Board approve the use of tasers, sir?
They approved the use of me, the most dangerous weapon of all, to form a security committee, and I approved the use of tasers, so in a manner of speaking, yes. Alright, church begins in 20 minutes. The security at this church has always been spotty at best. Some people think our mission is risky. Some people think it's foolish, but if you listen to me, by the time Kevin gets back from vacation and Evan gets out of the hospital, we're going to have this church safer than ever before. And if you stick with me, well, let's just say I'm like cream. I always rise to the top. And I'm white, which means I pretty much start at the top too. Haha. Not that white privilege is a good thing. Okay, keep a sharp eye out, and everything will be hunky-dory. And with Quentin Seltzer in charge, emphasis on the hunky. Am I right?
Hey, Quentin, what's going on in here?
Gentlemen, I believe that you know our temporary youth pastor here, Travis Baum. He's here to fill the gap until, well, you know.
Actually, Quentin, I signed with the church just last week.
Pyle, why wasn't I informed of this exciting new development?
You were running security simulations by playing abstract Euro-style board games against yourself all week in the office, which isn't technically your office, sir. Also, you're not a pastor or elder or deacon or trustee or...
Oh, board games. Me and Lizzie love Risk, Monopoly, Sorry, Scrabble.
Haha, those sound more like I am so bored by your games. Am I right, Pyle? Anyway, like he said, I was running security scenarios, simulations, you wouldn't understand.
This is a cool little security room you got here.
It used to be Pastor Stu's recording studio, sir!
I'm not sure about the black turtlenecks, though.
We figured they said preppy and relatable.
Sure, that and maybe fascist.
But preppy, relatable fascist, right? Haha!
That's an oxymoron, sir!
You're an oxymoron, Pyle!
Let's talk about the turtlenecks later, Quentin. Not in front of the guys, okay?
They just feel right.
Alt-right, maybe.
Sir!
What is it, Pyle?
Check the video feed, sir!
What the... We have a redneck prime. I repeat, a redneck prime. Everyone move to intercept on my command. Prevent entry with extreme prejudice.
Wait a second. What's going on?
It's the guy who shot you with arrows, sir!
Chip McGregory. And that British tart he spends time with. Take him down.
Belay that order.
Excuse me, new youth pastor? I have authority from the elders.
I said belay it, or whatever you guys say. Quentin, we need to sit down and talk about this team on Monday, okay?
If we don't act now, whatever happens next is on you. He's coming through the door. We can still stop him. I mean, church starts in T-minus...
We can escort him out quietly if we need to, Quentin. Have you ever heard the expression, measure twice, cut once?
I'm sorry, Pastor Baum. I don't mean to be rude, but, you know, like, who put you in charge?
Well, let's see. The elders, my fellow pastors, the congregation.
Well, now, the elders didn't put you in charge of the security team, did they?
There's no I in team.
I hate that saying, so... You know what? I literally spell team with an I.
That would explain the email about putting together a security Tim.
Yes, it would.
Could one of you fellas please get me Lance Redford from the sanctuary?
Yes, sirree, Bob. The Rose Bloom family sitting together in our favorite row at church on a Sunday morning. What could be better than that?
You're narrating again, Daddy.
What can I say, Gumdrop? Sometimes I like to say what's happening to me. It's just a nervous habit. I don't know.
I don't know why you would have any nervous habits, darling.
Me neither, my little Sunday bouquet, but somehow they keep popping up. I mean, who knows why?
Yeah, it's not like this family is repressing anything.
What sign would you have of repression, dearest?
I like the autopsy cats.
You can't live forever in denial, Ricky Bear.
One day I'm gonna move on to humans.
That's nice, pal. Look, we Rose Blooms may have had a bit of a rough patch this Christmas, but the important thing is now we're back at church. I'm an elder again. Your mother's doing such a great job on so many committees.
And you and I are happier than ever, aren't we, Matthias?
Right as rain, my prized petunia, right as rain. Little rough patch over Christmas, you know, but here we are in church.
And Ricky even wore her Fortnite t-shirt for the occasion.
Ugh, if only I could remember where I left my denim jumper. Oh, yeah, childhood.
Now, Ricky Bear, just because I happen to think one should dress respectably for church doesn't mean I want to dress you like a little girl.
No, you want me to dress me like a little girl.
Yes, sir, right as rain, right as rainy rain, right here in the old churchy church.
What could possibly go wrong?
That is the question.
Hi, sis.
And there's the answer. Why, Matt, it's Chip.
Well, what do you know about that, sweetie? Yes, sirree. What do you know about that? It's chippity-doo-dah, chippity-ay. How's it hanging there, pal?
Uncle Chip, what are you doing here?
I haven't come to church to find Waldo, little Ricky.
I wondered where he was.
And this is the British gal from the gas station I've been keeping safe. Claire.
Hello, all.
Claire, this is my sis, America, and her husband, Matthias, and my niece, little Ricky, and my nephew, I believe his name is Zerple?
It's Chad. Nice try, though.
So easy to confuse.
Chip, church isn't really the place for you, is it?
You mean 'cause my jeans are kind of dirty and I'm a sinner?
That's it in a nutshell.
Well, Erica, it's a long story involving at least one bagel gremlin, but old Lance is always after me to come, and I figure I'd give him a surprise.
I bet he'll be surprised, all right.
Chip is what?
He's right there with the rose blooms. Check out the feed.
Well, I'll be.
You think it's okay, Lance?
Okay, of course it's okay.
It's just that...
What, the Cupid thing? Shoot, Travis. That was just a big misunderstanding. I'm sorry. Chip's sorry, too. Besides, he promised me no weapons, no critters, no nothing, so...
You really think he ought to be here?
Ought to be here? I've been asking him to come for what? I don't know, 20 years? Of course he should be here. Where else should he be? Look, I guess you're the head honcho with Kevin away and Evan in the hospital.
Thank you, Lance, so much. Gentlemen, commence Operation Garbage Removal. Use lethal force if necessary.
Excuse me. I was talking to Travis, Quentin.
Travis?
Well, you're the intern, right? What do you do around here again?
Right now I'm doing a little thing called security, Lance. And maybe you know Pastor Baum. I mean, I know he's wise and smart and all, but maybe he smartly wants to allow sentimental familial hogwash to compromise the safety of this congregation, but...
Forgiveness isn't hogwash, Quentin.
Forgiveness? Hey, last I checked, you can show forgiveness without letting people shoot you full of arrows and then come into your church to shoot you again.
We're all Christians here, right? Lance says it was a misunderstanding, and I think we should give him another chance.
Maybe next time you won't be so lucky, William Tell.
William Tell was the guy who shot the arrows.
Oh, well, I'm William telling you, this is a big mistake, Pastor.
Lance, just for the record, have you noted what our intern said?
Oh, yes, duly noted, yeah.
So you guys really want to ignore the security hazards?
We're not ignoring you. I know you have valuable input, right, Lance?
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah. Valuable is the word that I'd use. Yep, valuable input.
Quentin, we can talk about it more on Monday, okay? If we work together, I'm sure we can come up with a vision for the security team that pleases everyone. Does that sound good?
Okay, yes, sir, Pastor Baum.
Please, it's Travis.
All right, Travis, sir. Yes, sir, Travis. Yes, sir.
Quentin.
Yes, sir. Ha-ha. Yes, sir. Travis.
Gentlemen, if you'll excuse me, I have worship to call to order.
Ricky, you know Claire, right?
Everybody in town knows your girlfriend, Uncle Chip.
Not girlfriend, Ricky.
Playing hard to get, are we?
Quite the contrary, I should think.
Uncle Chip, are you stringing Miss Claire along?
You mean, am I giving her every piece of string I find? If so, then the answer is, no, you weirdo. I give her every other one.
Chip.
Hi, Lance.
It's good to see you, Chip. You brought him to church, Claire.
Al Con Air, Lance. It was my idea all along.
Al Con Air?
He means on the contrary.
It's okay, Claire. Lance don't speak no French.
All right, everybody, let's get started. For those of you who don't know, my name's Travis. I'm one of the pastors here at First Church of Sanityville. We're going to get into some worship here in just a second, but first we've got a few announcements.
What does that redneck think he's doing here with his dirty overalls and his hat? It's like we're a church, not the checkout line at Walmart.
Your prejudices confirm my own worldview, sir!
You have to take the larger view, Pyle. You can be kind to the Chip McGregorys of the world when they're in Walmart, but then your whole church smells like McGregory when they're in church. And how is that kind to everyone else? You know, sometimes a man puts together a great security team, and there is an I in it, but nobody pays attention because, well, they're stupid. My name is Travis. I want everyone to do it my way. I think I'm so smart, even though I wasn't even at this church 6 months ago.
Sir, there's a movement in the aforementioned overalls, sir!
The McGregory overalls?
The very same, sir!
Is that an animal head poking out?
It would appear so, sir!
Pyle, do you know what that is? A possum. Oh, that's a possum! Oh, it's beautiful, Pyle. Oh, what a day. What a lovely day. Well, don't just stand there, Pyle. Alert the guards.
Are you sure you want to do that, sir? Pastor Bob belayed the order, sir!
I'm belaying the belay, my good man. I'm belaying the crap out of the belay. Who could blame me? Now alert the guards.
Roger, sir!
Is Roger the closest guard?
I believe he is, sir!
Alert him right now!
Well, you can see we'll be reading in Matthew today, but before we get started in the text, I want to tell you a story, and I tend to process a lot of my life through football. There's a lot of reasons
Pink
for
Eye.
that.
It ain't polite to chatter when a man's trying to preach about football.
Uncle Chip, is that your possum?
Well, he did say he would read the Bible in a minute. Sorry, little Ricky. She's just excited.
There's a cry room in the back, but I'm not sure the mothers would appreciate it.
Pink Eye, calm down, little Ricky. No one will ever know she was here, and it'll be the best day at church ever.
Excuse me, sir. You'll have to hand over the possum. My nose!
There's a possum in the church.
Besides, Pink Eye?
What's going on?
Chip, what's going on?
Security, converge on my location.
Quentin, you darn fool. Let's handle this quiet.
Remove that possum from Roger.
Roger!
Get off of me!
Let go of my possum! Tasers, everyone!
Chip!
Electricity makes me stronger for some reason!
Chip, let's just leave. Get Pink Eye and let's go.
Alright, everyone. I sure am sorry for the confusion. We'll just be on our way.
Sir, I am tasing this guy over and over, but it has no effect.
Tase him again. That tickles. I like it. Come here, Pink Eye. I got you. There you go. Let's get out of here. Tase the possum.
Sir, the ASPCA will not like that, sir.
Roger, you will tase that rabbit animal right now, or so help me.
Sir, he's leaving.
Come on, Pink Eye. Give me that taser.
Sir, don't do it.
All right, you rat-faced little rat. Ah!
No!
What have you done? Oh no, Pink Eye, girl, can you hear me, girl? Pink Eye, can you hear me, Pink Eye? Possum neutralized. Pink Eye, oh no! Wake up, girl, wake up.
You monster!
Well, I'd tell you I was just doing my job, lady, but that'd be a lie. It was my genuine pleasure. That is assault. You just slapped the wrong future pastor. Pink Eye, oh no! Pink Eye! Wake up! Claire, she won't wake up! Roger, kindly escort this gentleman and his animal carcass out of here, and make sure you get the possum, too.
I think the real monster might be you, sir.
Just do it, Roger.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Pink Eye!
It was so terrible.
Hey there, Mrs. Irish. We managed to get your wig back, didn't we?
But that beast, I stared into his eyes.
I still don't see how this could have happened, young man.
I'm sorry, Mr. Irish, but, I was saying, I tried to stop him from coming in, but Pastor Baum. Look, it's not Pastor Baum's fault. It's nobody's fault but mine. I'm the security team head, but it is true that when Pastor Baum insisted that he was in charge of the security team and not me, when the elders had specifically placed it in my command, and when he said he thought it was more Christ-like to allow that dangerous possum-wielding menace into the building, I just felt my hands were tied and...
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Irish, I am so sorry about all this.
We're disappointed, Baum.
It was terrible.
Very disappointed.
Well, I just think...
Don't worry, Mr. Baum. Pastor Baum, we have a solution moving forward, don't we?
We certainly do. I want to thank you, Pastor Seltzer.
Oh, I'm just an intern.
Intern? Huh. Well, you'll go far, young man, if you stay fast on your feet to deal with things like this. Baum, I'll see you on Tuesday. Come along, dear.
Mrs. Irish, I'm so...
Good day, sir.
Are they okay?
Mrs. Irish's wig was ripped right off, Lance.
Well, ain't like she was fooling anybody anyway.
Fellas, what happened wasn't anybody's fault.
Wasn't... Excuse me?
Oh, would you like to be excused?
What do you mean it wasn't anybody's fault?
Well, I mean, it was the possum's fault.
I don't think it was the possum that was the problem so much as maybe, I don't know, the weasel.
Weasel? Seemed like a possum to me, Lancy Pants.
Chip's possums are harmless, man. Unlike a certain intern I could mention.
Harmless? I got a staff member with a scratched nose. You should have heard him yell when we applied the iodine. Plus, there's an elder's wife with permanent emotional trauma. And do you see this red mark on my cheek? It's kind of gone now, but it was there. Yeah, that's from his girlfriend assaulting me. You should be grateful I'm not pressing charges as it is.
Oh, please, you drama queen.
Now, really, Lance.
Quentin, if you just done what you were told, none of this would have happened. And then let's see, you'd still have your security team and your internship, wouldn't you?
Is that a threat?
Well, let's just call it a statement of intention, huh?
Well, I intend to defend myself against the accusation that I did anything but use necessary force in the service
Travis,
of the
will you just tell this guy to get permanently lost?
Well, Lance, it's true the situation may have been mishandled.
The situation may have been mishandled? If Quentin hadn't tased first and asked questions later, there wouldn't have been a situation to have mishandled in the first place.
But there was kind of a situation.
There was a situation, Lance.
Lance, let's be honest. You can't tell me that your cousin didn't bring a real threat into Sunday morning worship.
It's a possum, not an AK-47.
Oh, yeah. Just a possum. The world's friendliest animal.
Look, I ain't trying to say that...
Let me ask you this, Lance. Would you let a man who wasn't your cousin bring a rabid animal into church?
Hey, Quentin, I'm an elder of this church and I don't like your tone.
And I am the head of the security committee of this church. I made a rapid choice in high-pressure moments to protect and, I dare say, to serve.
Oh, for Pete's sake, Travis, are you really going to let this guy...
Lance,
what?
Lance, we can't have an animal like that in church.
Sure, but...
Travis, hey, don't be too hard on Lance here. We all make mistakes. Besides, I have it on good authority that it won't happen again.
Good authority? What do you know about good authority?
What are you talking about, Quentin?
Lance, well... I forgive you.
Forgive me? Forgive me for what?
Oh, lots of things. Don't worry about it, buddy. But no one is going to walk over this church or its elders, so at this Tuesday's elders meeting...
Well, no, we're not having any elders meeting until Kevin gets back.
Mr. Irish, Mr. Irish somehow got it in his head to convene a special meeting.
Yeah, got it in his head.
So to recommend that we as a church take out a restraining order on one...
Wait, what?
McGregory. A restraining order? You know what those are, Lance? So Mr. McGregory can't set foot on the premises.
Quentin Seltzer, if I knew you were such a little weasel,
Lance, buddy, I merely suggested to Mr. Irish that restraining orders are one way that you could handle a situation with a nasty possum. Hey, he made a series of leaps from there. Frankly, well, I had nothing to do with it.
If you think I'm going to stand by while you try to vote my best friend out of church,
you could do what you want, Lance. Mr. Irish will vote for it, of course, and after the catastrophe that happened, I think we'll get the 66% necessary.
Oh, you're not going to get nothing done without the moderator on board. You're not even going to convene a meeting. And in lieu of Kevin or Evan, the moderator, that'll be Travis. And Travis is going to be on my... Travis.
Lance, the man almost killed me with arrows. And today he caused a riot that could have really hurt people.
It wouldn't have been no riot if it hadn't been...
That's one narrative, Lance. I have another narrative, and so do most people in this church, and I think that our narrative, shall we say, more accurately reflects the facts.
Listen, I believe in forgiveness, but we're talking about a known threat.
Chip's never threatened...
Quentin is right, Lance. We have to do the responsible thing.
Yeah, Lance, Quentin is right.
Get Get away from me.
Whoa, maybe I should take out a little restraining order of my own.
Please be quiet, Quentin. If Mr. Irish is going to call for a meeting, we should at least give him the dignity.
This ain't over, Quentin.
Not till the fat lady sings, Lance. Hey, that is assuming a possum hasn't got her by the throat.
You know what? Ugh!
Yeah?
We'll talk about this later.
Hey, Lance, wait. Quentin, there's a good way to handle an elder, but I'm not sure that's what you did.
I'm sorry, Travis.
Yeah? Really?
Yeah. I just, he kind of impugned my honor.
This is not a case for dueling pistols, okay? Let me handle it from here.
I have a few ideas.
Well, tell them to me, okay? And did you really have to fry the poor guy's pet?
Pet? It was a possum.
Quentin, it just might not play well in Peoria.
It was a stupid possum. Who's going to feel bad about that?
Oh, Pink Eye. Oh, I'm so sorry, Chip.
Well, girl, we got you fixed up nice and cozy like in your little bed. You look so restful, so peaceful. Hey, you know what? Uncle Lance is going to come over. That'll make you happy, huh, girl? You always did like Uncle Lance.
Oh, Chip, she can't hear you.
Sure she can, Claire. She can hear me. She's only in a coma.
A poma?
A possum coma.
Of course, but in any case, she can't hear you.
When humans are in comas and then they wake up, they say they heard everything going on around them. I'm sure Pink Eye is just the same.
Oh, Chip, we can only hope.
Well, Claire, I was just telling Pink Eye that Lance called. He's on his way over.
Oh, dear. Is he very angry, Chip?
Well, what would old Lance be angry about? He's probably coming here to read Pink Eye's story. Also, I think he wants to play Scrabble or something, but I'm not really in the mood for games.
Scrabble?
He said we was going to have words.
Chip, I think Lance may be upset.
That would explain the part where he said he was mad.
Chip, what did he mean by that?
Isn't it obvious, Claire? Mad. Mother's against drunk driving.
But Lance isn't a mother against drunk driving.
Well, he sure as heck fire ain't for it.
But he isn't a mother, Chip.
That's just what I said, Claire. I told him, Lance, you ain't a mad, you're a fad.
What happened then?
Old Lance gave a friendly sort of scream and hung up the phone.
A friendly sort of scream?
Sure, Claire. You know how Lance is? It's like I always say, you can staple yourself to a parakeet, but it won't make you fly.
Chip, you don't say that.
I do now.
Since when?
Since last week. Lance told it to me. It all began when I got the idea to staple myself to a parakeet.
Oh, Chip. You know, it occurs to me that two are better than one.
That's why Lance is my best friend.
Not to discount Lance's friendship, but if, in addition, you had the help of a feminine companion. In short, a girlfriend, or even a wife. I'm told that such females can come in quite handy. Chip, what if Maggie Jo really isn't coming back?
I'm still thinking about that, Claire. I'm still thinking about lots of things. It's hard to get it all sorted in my head.
But I mean, what would you do?
It's hard to know, hard to think about it at a time like this. But I do believe I'd ask you on a date, Claire.
Chip.
Hi, Lance. I'm real sorry it didn't work out on Sunday. I even brought Pink Eye like you wanted. Sorry I only brought the one possum.
Might as well stay, Claire. You're supposed to be the one keeping him out of trouble, aren't you?
Well, I hardly think.
No, you don't think. You just go along with Chip, and who's left to pick up the pieces, huh? Just like always. I'll give you one guess.
Sparky?
No, Chip.
Seven Arms? Dermatologist.
No, Chip, me!
So, you didn't like the surprise then?
Chip, they're talking about taking a restraining order out on you.
A restraining order?
The elders are convening a meeting on Tuesday, Chip, just for you.
Ain't that sweet of them?
But restraining Chip from what?
From church! The whole kit and caboodle, that's what.
You'll stop it, won't you, Lance?
Maybe I shouldn't try. Chip, one day you're gonna get somebody really hurt.
I did get someone really hurt, Lance. Pink Eye.
Chip, your possums... What I'm trying to say is one day you're gonna get a person hurt, a human being.
Lance, I don't never want to hurt no one.
Well, Chip, you sure could have fooled everybody at the church.
But my mom and the bagel gremlin and Waldo. Jesus.
Chip, I don't know what you're talking about.
My mom said I could go to church and see Jesus, Lance.
Chip, you been taking your brain pills?
Maybe it's a Waldo-less world, Claire.
It's not a Waldo-less world, Chip.
I thought I could go to church to see Jesus, but I reckon it's not for me. Not if I'm gonna hurt somebody.
You ain't gonna hurt nobody, Chip. You just gotta, I don't know.
But you said I was gonna hurt somebody, Lance.
Well, Chip,
It's okay, Lance. Not everybody finds Waldo.
Chip, enough.
It's a metaphor, Lance.
It's a metaphor, Lance. Like Roseblood from that movie.
I think he means Rosebud, Lance.
I know what he means, Claire. Chip, stop it.
Oh, Lance, do you ever think about what would Waldo do?
Stop talking to me about Waldo, Chip.
I'm sorry, Lance.
Well, sorry is the right thing to be, Chip.
Well, Pink Eye's sorry too. Hey, Pink Eye, come here and apologize to Lance.
Chip, Pink Eye can't come. She's...
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Lance. Pink Eye's in a coma. A possum coma. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Pink Eye, Chip, you ought to get rid of them possums.
Lance!
Well, it's true, Claire.
Get rid of Pink Eye? Get rid of my friendly possum brigade of excellence? All 27 of them?
All of them.
The whole FPBE? Well, Lance.
Well, if they're gonna cause that kind of trouble, Claire, he just shouldn't have them.
But I gotta take care of Pink Eye.
Chip, the only reason Pink Eye's in a coma is because of you. Pink Eye'd be fine if it wasn't for you.
Well, those are hard words, Lance.
Yeah, I know.
Ain't you gonna take them back?
No, Chip. I ain't gonna take him back. Hello, Kevin. Pastor Kevin, can you hear me?
Mali Kaliki Maka, Lance.
What?
That's how you say hello in Hawaii. Or Merry Christmas or something. This guidebook kind of sucks, Lance.
Well, the official American tourism guidebooks do come from an Anglo-centric point of view, Kevin, given our clientele. But have you heard what happened with my cousin Chip?
It's okay.
By chance?
Quentin called and told me all about it, Lance.
Quentin called you?
Yeah, sounds like you and Travis are all over it, although Quentin really wanted to defend Travis, but the more Quentin talked, the more it just sounded like Travis kind of whiffed it. I don't
Kevin,
know.
did he say anything about trying to take out a restraining order to you?
Yeah, something to keeping out the riffraff, save you from embarrassment. It sounded like a good deal for you,
But
Lance.
Kevin.
Oh, sorry about that, Lance. A conga line just formed. You should be here, man.
If you could just talk to Travis and a couple of the elders and sway things from an extreme reaction, that would...
I'll tell you what's extreme, Lance. This margarita.
Kevin, I'm trying to avoid an extreme reaction, an overreaction here, and I really think if you could just,
Hello, young lady. Conga.
Kevin, hello.
Can't talk now, Lance.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hello, Ricky.
Is Chip around?
He's in the barn singing to the possums.
As one does.
What's that you got there?
Well, speaking of possums...
What?
It's kind of dumb.
What is it?
I knit this for Pink Eye or whatever.
Oh, it's one of the most beautiful possum blankets I've ever seen.
Top 10, for sure.
This stitch work.
Oh, I used a Fair Isle technique to add extra floats to the back for warmth and... I sound like my mom.
Is that such a bad thing?
No, not if you don't mind passive-aggressive manipulation on a cosmic scale.
It's an absolutely smashing blanket, Ricky, but I'm afraid...
Hiya, little Ricky.
Uncle Chip, I made this blanket for Pink Eye.
Oh, it's the prettiest blanket I ever seen. I'll send it with her, wherever she goes.
What do you mean?
Ricky, in light of Sunday's escapades, Chip has come to a rather difficult decision.
And I just broke the news to the whole gang.
What are you talking about?
Chip's decided to get rid of his possums.
Uncle Chip, you love those possums.
Well, sure, I love them, but, well, they're just possums, after all.
You don't believe that.
Well, I gotta, little Ricky. Lance says they're dangerous, and everyone else...
Sure. Of course. Get rid of your stupid possums. It's not like they make you fun or special.
I reckon they make me dangerous.
I reckon they make you.
Little Ricky, are you sure you're not processing my entire possum conundrum through your own desire to be liked and fit into a family, church, and small-town society that looks down upon you for regrettable actions in your recent past? And though you are attempting to repent of that which was morally reprehensible in your behavior, you find that it is difficult to sort out said behavior from the positive ways in which you were and are seeking to differentiate yourself within the aforementioned communities. And you're afraid that the members of those communities may not be satisfied with mere repentance, but may demand from you in the name of contrition a level of stifling self-repression that is incommensurate with the sins committed.
You mean, like, do the possums symbolize something in my life?
Huh?
If people aren't, sinning or breaking the law, they should be allowed to be themselves.
When I was dating Maggie Joe, I changed all kinds of things about myself, and I didn't mind, because I loved her.
And there are other, even more recent examples of the same behavior.
Like what?
Well,
I don't know, little Ricky. I guess there's some things you hang on to no matter what anyone says. And there's some things you hold loose because they don't matter too much. And there's some things you wish you could hang on to, but you don't. Because sometimes you gotta give up the things you like in order to protect the things you love.
Yeah, but how do you tell the difference?
That's the dang trick of it, ain't it? If I could figure that out, why, I reckon maybe that's how you find your Waldo.
Waldo?
I'll explain later.
Lance is my cousin and my best friend. If he says pink eye, if he says, I mean...
Are you quite sure about this, Chip?
Reckon so.
Then we're with you, aren't we, Ricky?
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna take all the possums out back to the woods. I'm gonna take my gun.
Chip!
And let the possums fire it one last time. Then find a good home for the whole FPBE. Even Pink Eye. There's gotta be someone who wants a possum and a poma.
If this is really what you want, Chip, we're with you.
Then I'm off.
Where are you taking the possums?
I got a few ideas about that.
Can I come with?
Some things a man has to do for himself, little Ricky.
Yeah, but can I come too?
Sure.
Where are we off to first?
I love the lambs, Mommy.
Could there be a better petting zoo than the one in Sanityville?
What are those?
Possums? Ugh.
Do you like my possums, little girl?
Sir, what are you doing?
Well, ain't it obvious? I'm donating 27 possums to your petting zoo. One of them's in a poma.
Get those disgusting things out of here.
Well, you shouldn't talk that way about the children.
I'm talking about your possums.
Huh?
Let's go, Uncle Chip. I told you this was a bad idea.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Zookeeper. Sorry, children. Round 'em up, President William Jefferson Possum. You're in charge with Pink Eye down for the count. Boy, a petting zoo without possums. A petting zoo without possums is like a flower without blossoms. It's like a marriage without possums or a boat without possums.
You really know how to improvise this song, Uncle Chip.
Improvise? I've been working on that since I was 10.
Well, I suppose you'll just have to keep the possums then.
Now hold on there, little Ricky. You ain't yet seen a little thing called Plan B. Excuse me, ma'am. I'll sell you 27 possums for $10 million.
Please don't hurt me.
Tell you what, I'll make it 15.
And on to Plan C.
Hey, Lance. Just the man I wanted to see.
Yeah, Travis, I want to talk about this thing with Chip.
Have I done something to offend you?
What?
I was curious because you went over my head. I mean, I know it's cheesy, but teamwork really does make the dream work.
What are you talking about?
You know, a quarterback is only as good as his lineman and his receiver and nose guard.
Yeah, I was a safety, I get it.
But this time, teamwork didn't really make the dream work.
I believe in teamwork, Travis.
But Lance, this was more like me work. And me work makes me berserk. And me work makes whatever. Couldn't we just work it out ourselves without bothering Kevin while he's on vacation?
Bothering Kevin?
Well, Lance, he said you tried to get him to sway the board. To put all my cards on the table. I thought you were one of the elders I could work with.
Of course you can work with me, Travis.
I know I'm new. I just wish you'd come to me first, all right?
Travis, I'm sorry. Okay, to put my cards on the table, I just didn't think there was much reasoning with you.
Well, honestly, I thought there wasn't much reasoning with you.
Look, I just want a solution where we all win, see?
Lance, I think there is one. And it's that your cousin doesn't come to church anymore.
But I
mean, how many strikes do we give him, Lance?
I don't know, maybe 3?
Could we count arrows and a possum riot as 1.5 each?
Wish we wouldn't.
I want First Church to be open to all kinds of people, even people like your cousin. But you just can't bring a possum to church. It's not sanitary, for one. It's not safe. I was stupid to let it happen. I think I was proud. Spiritually proud.
Come on, Travis. Is it spiritual pride to maybe, I don't know, put love and forgiveness over some basic safety concerns?
Yes. Actually, that's exactly it. It really is.
He's my cousin. He's my best friend. I just want him to come to church.
Can you promise me something like that won't happen again?
Well, I mean...
Be honest. Can you, Lance?
No.
Then that's all she wrote. I mean, isn't it? I just got done talking it all through with Quentin.
Quentin?
I know he's not Mr. Likeable.
Mr. Likeable? No, not Mr. Likeable. More like Mr. Punchable, maybe.
Well, sometimes if you listen instead of punch, even Mr. Punchable has a few good points.
Travis, I don't know what Quentin Seltzer thinks he's doing interning here. I know it doesn't have anything to do with those big tithe checks Grandma Seltzer still sends from the home in Florida.
Well, let's not be too hard on him. Maybe Quentin isn't so bad.
Uh-huh, and maybe Uriah Heep was the hero of the dang novel.
What novel?
I'm just saying.
He has at least a few good ideas. He suggested that we let the wife sit in on the meeting tomorrow, and I think he's right. Obviously, there'll be voice, not vote, but this whole thing touches on so many security considerations. I thought a little input from the fair sex regarding...
No.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Travis Baum, heaven help you. You have no idea what you've done.
What have I done, Lance?
Are you aware that my cousin Erica is married to one of your elders?
She's a very capable woman.
Oh, yeah, she's capable, all right.
Well, Lance, I thought you'd be happy. After all, she'll be on your side.
She don't want Chip here.
Well, why not?
Oh, come on, Travis. It's a long story.
Well, even so, Lance.
Travis, are you aware of Feng Shui? Yin and yang, light and dark, good and evil? There's a delicate balance maintained in this church, and your predecessor, though his other faults were many, maintained it beautifully.
What are you talking about?
My cousin... No man can tame that woman.
Well, what about her husband? Okay, never mind.
Listen, here's how Erica works. She always has her fingers in a million pies, and if there's any pie she don't have her fingers in, she may decide at any moment that only she knows how that pie ought to be baked.
Well, so what?
You want her to feel like those pies are baked to her satisfaction. You want her to feel useful and respected.
Well, I've worked with difficult people before, Lance.
Then you know that with somebody like Erica, you also have to use whatever means to limit her power, which means, not inviting her to an elders meeting.
Lance, how big a monster can she really be?
Well, Travis, let me just say you're about to find out.
I'm sorry, Mr. McGregory or Ricky, but I don't think those possums are doing a good job of washing the dishes.
You sure?
Well, they did a little work before, but now they're just sitting here watching this dumb video of plate smashing.
That was supposed to motivate them.
Look, they washed this plate, but it still has a spot on it.
All right, fellas, back at it. Watch that plate better.
No, actually, I'm real sorry, Mr. McGregory. I just don't think possum dishwashers are a good fit for Hrothgar's Hall at this time,
Ollie, can't you help us out?
I'm sorry, Ricky.
Help us, Ollie. You're our only hope.
Bob O'Reilly wouldn't like it.
Come on, President Possum. Bring your friends. I'll get Pink Eyes Gurney.
So, joining your Uncle Chip on one of his crazy adventures, huh?
I'm helping him find Waldo.
What's that mean?
Who knows?
Oh, well, good luck.
No, Chip's just trying to make things right with the world.
It seems like a good idea.
Yeah. It's really hard, though. It's harder than you'd think.
Those darn possums.
Yeah, those darn possums.
Oliver, what on earth happened here?
I'm sorry, Bob O'Reilly. Chip McGregory was looking for work for his possums.
Well, get it cleaned up.
All right. All right, squirrels. Back to work.
Well, this is unexpected.
Lance a lot. What can we do for you, buddy?
It's a nice house you got here, Erica. I like the decorations.
Yes, Lance. I'm sure you're just a couple of cigarette butts and a pinup poster away from feeling quite at home.
Dang it all, Erica. What kind of redneck do you think I am?
A cowardly, unimaginative one who's managed to thrive on the sad mediocrity of our idiotic country.
Well, ask a stupid question.
And you might be Lance Redford.
Now, honey, your little joke might hurt somebody.
My husband thinks you might hurt somebody, Lance.
I'd say that was a little below the belt, Erica, but that'd assume you were capable of punching above it.
Lance will know when I'm joking, darling.
Wow, Lance, he's such a good sport. Always has been.
Listen, Erica, Mac, I want Chip to be able to come to church.
No.
Erica, don't you want Chip to come to church?
No.
Oh, dang it all, why not?
His IQ is even lower than yours, but he's a better shot. He has more rabid animals generally on or about his person. He wears too much denim and takes too few showers.
Oh, Erica, he's the salt of the earth.
Then we really must reduce our intake.
Erica, I ain't arguing with you.
Good, You'll find the front door through that foyer, in case you'd already forgotten.
Erica!
The handle ought to be easy to operate, even for you, Lance. Simply grasp, turn, and pull.
Hey, Matt! Help a brother out?
Oh, brother, I mean, don't you mean cousin-in-law?
Look, if Chip comes once a month, that'll be a miracle in and of itself. It's not like he's going to get baptized next week.
Is the miracle that the water would turn brown?
I just want him to be able to come to church every once in a while, you know? When the fancy strikes him, he should be able to come.
Him and all his wonderful animal pals?
Don't you love your brother, America?
Of course I love my brother.
Don't you want him in church?
What do I want for Chip? Let's see. Let me consult my list. I want him to get on better brain pills. I want him to wear clothes that aren't denim or camo. I want many things for him, actually. Do you provide those for him, Lance? Or do you enable his, whatever you call the life he has?
Chip's a happy man, mostly.
Then let's keep him that way. And let's keep the people of FCS happy by keeping them unmolested by rabid possums.
When we was kids, all you ever did was take care of Chip.
I still care for Chip, Lance.
By not inviting him to your house for the holidays? By not talking to him for months or years at a time?
We had him for last Thanksgiving.
Erica, one day you're going to have to face everything that's happened, whether you like it or not.
I am facing it, Lance. It's sitting on my love seat, and it's time for it to leave.
Okay, fine. Stupid me. I thought you'd be reasonable. Should have known better.
I'm reasonable, Lance.
Uh-huh.
I'm completely reasonable. We're both more reasonable these days, aren't we, darling?
Sure, of course. Reasonable's the word. We had a little rough patch over Christmas, but now everything's right as rain. Reasonable.
Reasonable is the word.
Little rough patch over Christmas, but...
Oh, for Pete's sake, Matt, why don't you put out a press release so you can stop telling everybody? Rough patch over Christmas, everything's great. Erica, you know what? I really thought everything that happened with Ricky would have maybe taught you some kind of lesson.
And what lesson might that be?
Well, I don't know. Except that when the kids at school called me a trash Redford, I wore it like a badge. I decided I'd show the world what a trash Redford can do. When they called you a trash McGregory, what'd you do? You ran. That's what.
You have a different memory of school than I have, Lance.
Yes, I do.
I never ran.
You ain't never stopped running, Erica. Run, run, run.
I never ran.
Maybe even now you fool others into thinking you're perfect Mrs. Rosebloom. Maybe you look in the mirror and you fool yourself. But I know what you really are.
You've never known what I am.
I wondered for years why you hated me. And then one day I figured it out. I never did nothing to you except remind you who you are. America McGregory.
Get out of my house.
That woman.
Sir Lancelot.
What do you want?
That was pretty rough back there, man. I'm sorry, okay?
Yeah, you're sorry. You ought to be sorry.
You know, what are you gonna do? I mean, women. I mean, am I right? I mean, women.
Matt, you want to contribute? You want to help? What is it you want?
I'd like to, Lance. I mean, I'd really like to, but, you know, me and Erica had a rough patch last year. I mean, we really did. It's I mean, sure, okay, it's something I say, but it's not just a line. It's also true, you know. Me, I say things, and sometimes they're even true. And, you know, it was rough with Ricky and everything.
And what, Matt?
Well, and we just got back to some kind of a whatchamacallit, you know, an equilibrium or whatever. And I, you know, well, you know how it is, right? I mean, I got a wife and I got a daughter. Little Chatty's a bundle of energy. Just, you know, Lance, you know? So, I'm sorry.
Sorry. You're a sorry excuse for a human being, Matt Rosebloom.
What? Oh, sorry excuse, yeah. That's very amusing, Lance. Very amusing, yes, sir.
Where do we take the possums now, Uncle Chip?
I've got an idea so crazy, so ridiculous, so absolutely insane
that it just might work?
Huh? No, it was crazy, ridiculous, and insane. Step 5 was to start a limited liability corporation with the Bagel Gremlin.
Don't take this the wrong way, Uncle Chip, but have you taken your brain pills lately?
Can I tell you a secret, little Ricky?
Yeah?
Now, don't tell nobody else, but Pink Eye got into my brain pills 6 months ago.
I thought it was weird to see a possum reading Latin.
Virgil ain't the same in translation, or so they say.
But you didn't get them refilled?
I just sort of ain't got round to it.
Do Lance or Claire know?
Ain't wanted to worry him.
I really, and I mean really, think you need those.
I know, little Ricky, I know I just ought. If I tried real hard, I could think like other people. And Lance would be happy. And Claire would be happy.
Uncle Chip, I know you're trying hard to change or whatever in all these really big ways, but maybe it's better to focus on the little things first, the things you could actually deal with.
You mean like how, for instance, if you stopped wearing video game t-shirts and torn jeans and made eye contact and smiled a little more, maybe it'd make it easier for people in your life to like you, even though you'd essentially be the same person.
Yeah, like that. Except, brain pills.
Well, thanks, little Ricky. With the amount I've been learning lately, sometimes I think I don't know nothing at all.
Yeah, join the club.
Club. Say, that gives me an idea.
I'm sorry, sir, but your possums are not welcome at the country club.
But it's a country club. It's right there in the name. And these are country possums.
Don't make me call the police, sir.
So, I guess we learned a valuable lesson about country clubs. Right, Uncle Chip?
More like, I hate the country clubs. I guess there ain't nobody that wants 27 possums. Nobody but me.
Well, maybe that's not such a...
Excuse me, sir. The name's Graves, Zorander Graves.
What can I do you for?
I couldn't help but overhear that you have 27 possums you're attempting to, shall we say, offload.
I'm looking for good homes for each and every one.
How about one fantastic home for all of them together?
That sounds impossible.
It's not impossible with me, Mr. McGregory.
How do you know my name?
Every member of the PRS, the Possum Reclamation Society, knows your name, Mr. McGregory. You're a legend among us. We call you the Mastersupial.
The Mastersupial?
It was foretold that the chosen one would be born from the pouch of destiny to bring balance to all possum kind.
And you're the Possum what society?
That's right, my dear. A group of concerned citizens looking after the welfare of our pink-nosed friends.
Vicky, is this man really here, or do we need to go get them brain pills filled right now?
Mr. Graves, what sort of home could the PRS give Uncle Chip's possums?
What sort of home? Why, only a marvelous, massive, marsupialized terrarium we call the Possatorium.
The Possatorium?
The Possatorium, the world's largest man-made preserve for our happy marsupial companions, full of good, clean air and land to scrounge, and food and water, of course, and...
lemon squares?
More lemon squares than you can shake a stick at. And every Friday we show a movie that possums like.
What kind of movies do possums like?
2 words, my dear. Barbara Streisand.
Well, of course. The entertainer who looks the most like him.
Oh, the Possatorium is a wondrous place, friends. A veritable paradise for members of genus Didelphis.
What about this little one here?
In the possum gurney.
She'd need special attention. I'm afraid she's in a coma.
Why, we have medical staff standing by to help. Possums and pomas. Possums with panzer, and even possums with a case of the common cold.
Wonderful. Don't you think so, Ricky?
Yeah. Everything sounds awesome, I guess.
I assure you, young lady, it is more possum than you can imagine.
Pink Eye? Pink Eye, if you can hear me, girl, well, I know you want to stay with me, girl, but Lance says you gotta go, and, well, this could be the ticket.
Mr. McGregory, do we have ourselves a deal?
Is that okay with you, Pink Eye? If the answer's yes, lie real still. She says yes.
Splendid. I'll bring the transport to your home tomorrow. You can say your goodbyes then.
Uncle Chip, are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. Little Ricky, sure, I'm sure.
Until tomorrow, then. Fools. Long have I searched for the perfect specimens to finish my possum coat. And now I'll have all the obnoxious little beasts that I need. And in one fell swoop. The fools! With this coat, I, Zorander Graves, will become captain of the fur industry. But time grows short. I have blades that need sharpening. I'm afraid the possatorium will be quite operational when Chip's friends arrive.
Quentin, what in tarnation are you doing?
It's called Catan, Lance, as in Settlers of, and this is how I'm clearing my mind for the big meeting tonight.
What, so did Travis invite interns too?
I was a primary actor in the incident.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Lance, can we be frank with each other?
I'm past being opaque.
Lance, your cousin, what's his name? Chuck? Is it Chuck? I think it's Chuck. Is it Chuck?
Shut up.
Hey, he's not coming back to church, man. The elders board is convinced. Pastor Travis is convinced.
You know, Quentin, I think Pastor Travis is a pretty bright guy. I think give him enough time, he's going to see it for what you are.
Cooler than 3 Steven Seagals put together.
Yeah, that cool.
Lucky for me that I've got your cousin Erica, bringing her considerable influence to bear on my side.
Erica don't know you're alive, and that's for the best.
Oh, she'll know soon enough about Quentin Seltzer, or should I say, Pastor Seltzer.
Say it all you want. Nobody else is ever gonna.
Hey, you were supposed to start a PR committee, weren't you, Lance? What's PR stand for? Possum Relations?
Very funny. How long you had that in your pocket?
I came up with it spontaneously.
You're a little weasel, you know that? What's your game, boy?
Nature abhors vacuum, Lance.
And yet it seems to have made allowances for the inside of your head.
Nature abhors vacuum, and I intend to fill the power vacuum that Pastor Stu left last year.
Wait, what? What, you think you're gonna, whatever your way all the way to the top of this church or something?
Hey,
what?
I'm just saying. Now's the time to get on the Quentin train. Choo-choo.
And just before it derails.
Quentin train, don't play that, yo. Quentin train on track to success station, yo.
Are you serious right now? Like, you really think you can pull this off?
Kevin's on vacation.
He'll be back in a month.
Au contraire, mon guy. Kevin's been on vacation for years now. And Evan's in the hospital. He's also been.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Mr. Irish thinks I'm going far. And Travis, well, he's botched this whole thing.
He's gonna clean it up?
Yeah, let's just say, I'm not sure how it's gonna play in Peoria.
Are you, serious right now? Really serious?
Name a person who can stop me, Lance. Maybe you. If you weren't so intent on defending a psycho who brought a live possum into church. Ha! But you don't have a leg to stand on. Ha ha!
Quentin, listen to me very carefully. I've known a million guys like you, all of them too dumb to know you're sowing the wind, and none of you are going to stop reaping the whirlwind.
Well, I'm just glad I'm smart enough not to bring a rabid animal into church or let my cousin do the same.
Yeah, what's your real problem with Chip anyhow?
I don't know, Lance. Maybe I just don't like the smell of Marlboros. See, there's a little thing called the sunk cost fallacy. Maybe you should Google it.
Maybe you should Google how to dig my own grave.
People always think if something or someone is weak or broken or stupid, you should just keep throwing resources at it.
Quentin, you better shut your mouth right now.
But that's not the way the world works, Lance. Some sunk costs are sunk. Some shipwrecks aren't worth salvaging. Some games of Settlers of Catan, they're just lost, buddy. You know what I mean?
Calling my cousin a shipwreck?
Lance, of course not. That would be your other cousin. What's that one? Ricky. Chip McGregory is more like a tsunami.
I said shut up.
Whoa, Lance. Hey, buddy. I see that look in your eyes. I know what you want to do right now, but you're not going to do it. You know why? Because I'm the head of security. And that's a security camera watching you right now, buddy.
This conversation's over, but we ain't done yet.
Oh, we're done, Lance. And so is your cousin, Chuck. Bye, Chuck. Bye, Chuck. Bye-bye, Chuck's possum. Or are you dead? Oh, no.
All right, elders. Everyone, I'd like to get started. I see a few wives have come too. Thank you so much, Mrs. Rosebloom, Mrs. Redford.
I'm just here to support the truth.
I'm just here to support my husband.
I've missed you at the Children's Committee meetings, Laura. She always provided such wonderful alternate ideas. These days, the meetings are over far too quickly.
Lance and I agreed I should be home more.
Well, we Christian wives obey our husbands, don't we?
Some of us do.
Laura's always so helpful to Lance, scurrying here and there. Sometimes I think of her as Lance's little mouse.
Lance seems happy enough.
A lobotomy would have served the same purpose.
Always so clever, Erica.
Yes, so clever, honey. Why, just the other day, what was it you said? I was watching the game on the TV, and you said the quarterback's not the only one who dropped the ball. because I'd forgotten to take out the trash.
Anyway, obviously this is an important meeting, so thank you all so much for taking time out of your schedule, even on a Tuesday. Tonight we're here to talk about an issue that gets at the heart of who we are as a church. And who are we? Well, we're just a bunch of sinners who want to love the community for Jesus, right?
Are these preliminaries necessary,
Mr.
Barn?
Irish.
I want to get to the point.
Well, Mr. Irish, with respect, I'd like to remind everyone of the point before we move on. The point is to love people for Jesus. So let's bear that in mind as we make some tough decisions tonight. As a quarterback, I'm no stranger to tough decisions.
My wife's mental, physical, and spiritual well-being is more important than a football game, Mr. Baum. And so is the well-being of this congregation. You know that Phyllis hasn't gotten out of bed since Sunday.
Of course, our plan is to spend much of our time tonight considering those very things, Mr. Irish.
Well, now, on a similar note, my cousin's mental and spiritual well-being is important to me. But I don't want to minimize in any way the trauma that your wife experienced, Mr. Irish. I just want to make sure we're, well, taking the larger view.
The larger view is that your cousin is a menace to more than just my wife.
Well,
Redford.
now the larger view would include many factors, you know. Many factors, I would think.
In the larger view, the church has to serve all kinds of people, some of whom need special care.
Well, yeah. Thanks, son. That's it exactly. We want to set boundaries that allow us to include people who are sinners, who are broken. We don't want to exclude those people. Jesus didn't. Why should we? I'm just sure if we put our heads together, we can think of a safe way to have Chip McGregory here with us. My question is, well, last Sunday, were we prepared to have him or were we not?
Prepared? And how exactly does one prepare for a tornado, Lance? You shut the door. I love my brother, but part of loving people is understanding what they really need. Are you suggesting, Lance, that no matter how disturbed someone is, no matter what destructive tendencies they bring with them, it is our obligation to invite them in?
I'm so glad you're here, cuz.
That's right, sweetie. That's right. I mean, what are doors for? To keep out tornadoes. I mean, you shut the door and then the tornado will never get in. And you don't want to just pick up the tornado and set it down right next to your precious children. Am I right?
I wanted to start our meeting by having our senior-most elder pray for us. Mr. Waldo? Where's Waldo?
What's that, Sonny?
Mr. Waldo, will you pray for us?
What's that? Bale of hay for us?
No. Pray.
No, pray. All right, I won't. But that's a funny way of asking.
Okay, everyone, let's pray.
Oh, I'm so sad. Giving up my possums tomorrow. My eyes are filled with tears of sorrow. And pink eyes still in a coma. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm giving up my possums tomorrow. And my eyes are filled with tears of sorrow. I can't even drive my truck. I'm so sad. Here's the bridge, but it helps to have this pretty woman drive. 'Cause I can't. I'm sure glad I had that song in my repertoire.
It's the perfect song for this week, Chip.
But where are we going, Claire?
I rather thought I'd drop you at church.
I can't go there. You heard what Lance said. I'll hurt somebody.
No, Chip. This isn't about Lance. Or anybody else. You've taken a big step getting rid of your, of course, possums. Now it's time for you to take another one.
Another step. All right.
No, Chip, don't jump out of a moving vehicle.
Claire, you're sending me mixed messages.
There are men meeting right now to decide whether you can set foot in that church again. You need to apologize. You need to ask them to let you.
Well, dang it all, Claire. My ma told me I should go to church to meet Jesus there, and my pa said there was nothing but dirt. And Maggie Jo said I should go 'cause she was going, and Lance said I should go 'cause he was going, and Erica, well, I don't think she was too pleased to see me at all. And the bagel gremlin? Who knows what he wants, except that it probably has something to do with bagels.
Well, Chip, what do you want?
3 things, Claire. First, I want to be the sort of man that Maggie Jo never would have run away from. Second, I want to do right by the people I love and who love me. And third, I want to do like my ma said. I want to go to church. I want to see Jesus.
I think you should go to church. And I think you do as well by the people that you love as anyone I've ever known. So that's your second and third things.
What about the first?
All I can say, Chip, is that you're the sort of man that I would never run away from.
I am?
Yes, indeed. Here we are at church.
Claire, I got a question for you.
Yes, Chip?
Well, it's probably the wrong question, and there's a lot of factors that go into asking it, and then there are the other factors, and they...
Chip, what's your question?
Will you be my girlfriend?
Chip!
Well, will you?
And here I thought you were going to ask me about the bagel gremlin.
Oh, Claire, I don't think he exists.
Is that so?
So, what do you say?
I thought you'd never ask.
I was never gonna, but then I got to thinking. On account of how I was stuck on Maggie this whole... You know, Claire, you're the sort of woman that I would never run away from.
Oh, Chip.
Well, see you later. I'm a-coming, Lance.
Now look here, everybody. What kind of church we trying to be?
We admit that Chip is an extreme case.
Sure, he's an extreme case. But extreme cases kind of shine a flashlight on our reactions, don't they?
And our first reaction shouldn't be to slam the door in somebody's face.
That's right. I mean, I ain't saying there's never a time to shut the door. But when our first reaction is to shut the door, well, that's a dangerous place for a church to be in, ain't it? I mean, okay, has Chip done some crazy things? Sure. But is he a threat? I don't think so. Y'all might think so, but this is about something bigger than that to me. What's our first reaction to sinners, to losers, to the broken and lost when they come in the doors of our church? That's it for me.
Maybe if one person had been excited or happy about the idea of Chip coming to church.
Yeah, maybe then I could accept the idea of closing the door on him, but that ain't been anybody's attitude at the meeting tonight. Didn't seem much like Quentin's attitude on Sunday. I submit to you that's a problem.
Lance, old pal. No one here thinks that the church shouldn't welcome sinners. Everybody here wants to welcome sinners. Am I right? Am I right? Of course I'm right. But how welcoming is a church with Chip McGregory in it to the other sinners? That's my question.
All right, Quentin, calm down. He was just making a statement.
Maybe, Mr. Seltzer, it was something you needed to hear.
Get a beer?
Needed to hear, Mr. Waldo.
Well, I didn't hear anything.
As fathers of the church, it's important that
As a mother of the church, I think it's important for the fathers to take into account the safety of our children.
And as a husband of a mother of the church, I want to say the same thing to the fathers, which is really me talking to myself, I guess, but also everyone else here, right, honey?
Thanks, Matthias.
The point is that Chip McGregory is a threat to the people of this church. He's unstable, unpredictable. Why, for all we know, he could come waltzing through that door right now.
Well, now, Mr. Irish, I hardly think that's fair. What reason would Chip have to crash this meeting?
That's my point, Redford. He doesn't need a reason.
Mr. Irish, my cousin Chip is not a cartoon. He's not a caricature. He's not just some random agent of chaos. He's not just gonna burst through that door with...
Hi, everybody.
What's so funny, honey?
She probably thought of a joke, Matthias.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Now, which one of y'all is Pete? My name's Chip.
There ain't no Pete here, Chip.
Where'd he go?
He was never here, Chip.
Somebody should alert his family, Lance.
There ain't no Pete, Chip.
Well, why were you talking about him behind his back? Is that what elders do?
Yes.
Mr. McGregory, how are you this evening?
Hey, Lance, it's Mr. Baum.
It's good to see you, Mr. McGregory.
Good to see you too, Mr. Baum.
Would you mind terribly if your cousin Lance showed you to my office real quick? I'd like to talk to you in a few minutes.
Sure thing, Mr. Baum. Now, hold on a second, everybody. I think this is a rare opportunity for the subject of the meeting to speak for himself.
This is a closed-door meeting, Quinn.
Well, I hear a lot of talk about opening doors, Lance, from your corner. You know what could be more open door than an open door meeting? Am I right?
Travis, you can't be seriously considering this.
Now, Lance, if your cousin is as reasonable and safe and stable as you say, it shouldn't be any problem now, should it?
No problem at all, I'd say. Right, Lance?
What's so funny, honey bear?
It's nothing. Just, I agree with him. That one. Quincy.
Thanks so much for your input, Matt.
I didn't say anything.
I know.
Squeak, squeak.
I'll just show Chip to your office now, Travis. Come on, Chip, let's go.
Hold on, Lance. Mr. McGregory, something brought you here tonight. What was it?
Yes, Chip. What was it?
No, I really don't think that's
Lance, old pal. Hey, let him talk. I have just one thing I want to say to y'all tonight. I learned something very important today. I guess the clearest way to express it would be the following. The bagel gremlin, he ain't real. And today, I agreed to take all my possums to the possatorium so they could be free and run and play and eat their little lemon squares. Oh, pink eye, alas, pink eye, alas. And today I got in the truck with my girlfriend who wasn't my girlfriend, and I tried to jump out of the truck because she told me to take the next step, and there were just 3 things I needed to learn. And they were to do right by people who love me, run away from Maggie Joe, and go to church to find Waldo.
Well, Mr. Waldo's right here.
What? Where?
No. Now, Chip, come. Chip.
Right here, Chip.
Oh, boy.
Waldo, is it really you?
What's that? Is who you?
is Yoo-Hoo. Yoo-Hoo.
No, Chip, that ain't the same Waldo.
Ain't the same Waldo.
That's Mr. Waldo to you, young'un.
He ain't got no stripes, Chip.
Where's your stripes, Waldo?
Oh, my pipes. I got rid of them, but I used to smoke like a chimney.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo.
Yes, I like sniffing glue. But don't tell anybody.
Excuse me, Waldo, but I said chim chimney chiroo.
Chimichurries give me indigestion.
When I get indigestion, I drink pickle juice.
Pickle juice, pickle juice. I like pickle juice.
All right, gentlemen. Could we please...
Lance, Waldo likes pickle juice.
Chip, stop with the pickle juice.
Pickle juice? That's anti-Semitic.
Gentlemen, this has gone too
My
far.
mother was Jewish. Apologize right now, Lance Redford.
Mr. Waldo, I never said...
Don't make me knock your teeth out, sonny.
Don't do it, Waldo. Lance would have to get new teeth.
I'll be glad to recommend a dentist who made my teeth.
Who's that?
Dr. Potter?
I didn't know he was a dentist. I thought he was just a wizard.
Chip, the real Waldo don't threaten to knock people's teeth out.
You make a good point, Lance.
I do? Yeah, of course I do.
But what about wizards?
Gizzards, you say? Delicious.
Not gizzards. Wizards.
Lizards, you say? Also delicious.
No, not lizards. Wizards.
Mr. Waldo, what's wrong with you?
Lance, for shame. He's just a sweet, confused old man. And if them books are to be believed, it's a miracle we found him tonight at all.
Those are just books, Chip.
Lance, don't you believe in the value of a liberal arts education?
Federal farts agitation?
What's that even mean, you glue-sniffing weirdo?
Honey.
Mr. Waldo is clearly referring to the Federal Farts Act riots of 1933.
Chip, that's not a thing.
But how can I trust you with the facts of history, Lance? You don't even believe in books or wizards.
Hey, you believe in wizards, Chip?
Now, I don't think that's a relevant question, Quentin.
Oh, to the contrary, Lance, I'm sure everybody here would like a little more help to, understand the workings of Mr. McGregory's mind.
Oh.
Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right?
Whatever.
Of course I'm right. Hey, Chip, do you believe in wizards? Well, if you're asking, do I believe there is actually a secret school of wizardry and witchcraft where little children have exciting adventures fighting evil snake sorcerers? The answer is, yeah. Now, if you're asking, do I think those witches and wizards should all be stoned to death according to the good book? Well, the answer is, for sure. But maybe we could just give the little kids a spanking and call it good. Ladies and gentlemen of the session, you see before you a man who is, it's just nuts. Wizards and gizzards, it's stoning to death. He even believes in spanking children.
Well, two schools of thought on that one.
Okay, seriously, what is even going on?
Well, Mr. Baum, from my perspective...
No, be quiet, Mr. McGregory.
Sure. What's going to happen the next time Chip McGregory thinks one of your children is a wizard because they read Harry Potter? What's going to happen the next time Chip McGregory gets confused at our Halloween party? What's going to happen when, allow me to remind you, when a highly trained assassin...
Oh, now come on. Just because Chip served in the Marines don't mean...
What's going to happen when a government killer thinks he sees the bagel gremlin prancing down the halls of our children's wing? I'd have a lot of questions for him. You'd better believe it. Make no mistake, Chip has killed before. Haven't you, Chip? Only them that needed it. How can we trust a man who blurs the lines between fantasy and reality so much he can't tell the difference between a youth pastor and a terrorist? He can't tell the difference between an elder of this church and a character from the children's classic, Where's Waldo?
I'm right here.
I found you.
Apologize, Lance Redford.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the one, the only, the redneck ravager, the possum promoter, the human tornado, Chip McGregory. Technically, Quentin, I was never an assassin. I was a highly trained soldier in the Black Ops. Also, I can assure everybody that I was honorably discharged. Was that a moment of lucidity, Chip? You know, I've decided that a man could be crushed by cornflakes if there was enough of them. Ladies and gentlemen, I rest my case.
Lance, I'm afraid Quentin's got a point.
Well, of course he has a point, Travis, but...
Hun?
Yeah?
Were you going to let Mr. Seltzer talk this way about a decorated war veteran?
Well, no.
Because it seems to me that all Mr. Seltzer has done is point at the fact that Chip has been trusted with things by our government that nobody in this room could be trusted with.
One time, Janet Reno even gave me her bean dip recipe.
Not now, Chip.
Chip has been asked to do things, horrible things, that nobody else in this room could be asked to do.
Yeah, you ought to try that bean dip.
Listen, Laura's right. Let me tell you about my cousin Chip. He's a cheerful fella. He don't talk about it too much. But, yeah, he's been asked to do things, and he did them because he's a man who loves his country. He's a patriot, a man who does the job that's been given to him. And you can say what you will about Chip, but that's the truth. He carries those things. He carries them within himself all the time. Quentin Seltzer wants to argue that makes him some kind of a monster. Well, you know what? I see it differently. I think Chip McGregory deserves our sympathy. I think Chip McGregory is a hero, and the fact that we as an organization are seriously considering looking at the effects of PTSD, using that to bar a man from the one place where he might find some healing and some hope, well, I ain't got no other word for it. It's despicable, and I, for one, won't stand for it. I mean, you know how our government treats our veterans. They got Chip on some crazy concoction.
You still talking about the bean dip, Lance?
I'm talking about your brain pills, Chip.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, Lance, I got something to tell you.
Now's really not the time.
I've been off the brain pills for 6 months, Lance. I'm sorry.
You what?
I've been off.
You been off your brain pills, Chip?
Yep.
Did the doctor...
No, I got off them by accident. Little Ricky said I should get back on.
Off your brain pills?
Yep.
Were you said 6 months. Were you off from a Brady Hawkins day?
Sure.
Were you off from last week for the possum incident?
Possum incident?
And just say yes, Chip.
Yes, Chip.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you see before you is a veteran who has fought to protect our freedoms. Suffering from PTSD? Yeah. Confused? Yeah. Properly medicated? No. All factors which can be easily mitigated before next Sunday.
Can you make sure he gets his meds, Lance?
Lance will take him first thing tomorrow.
Mr. Irish.
What division were you in, son? I was in the 23rd.
Oh, please!
Well, what's wrong, Quentin?
You can't seriously be thinking about letting this guy come back to church.
Thinking about that was kind of the point of this meeting, Quentin.
The problem with Chip McGregory isn't simply the result of PTSD. The problem with Chip McGregory isn't a med issue exactly. It's Chip McGregory. That's the problem with Chip McGregory. It goes all the way down to the bone, man. I mean, like, come on. Can we just be honest here? Can we just be honest? You know, Lance is right. The church should be open to broken people. But on the flip side of that coin, some people aren't just broken. They're broken. They're broken. They're broken, They're broken, yo. And some of the time, we can help people like that. But you know what? Most of the time, we can't. It's called triage, people. Nurses do it. Doctors do it. Hospitals in Africa do it. I do it sometimes when I'm in a really bad situation in Twilight Imperium. Because you can't help everybody. I mean, what's the church supposed to do? Just take in every piece of trash that the world leaves on our doorstep because we're loving or whatever? Hey, here's an idea. This guy's above our pay grade. He'll always be above our pay grade. I mean, they couldn't pay us enough to deal with this guy. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. The real problem goes down to the core of his very being. You can medicate the crazy. You can alleviate the PTSD, but there ain't no pill for being a McGregory.
What's your name again? Quincy?
It's Quentin.
Ah, yes. Quentin.
Quentin, I think you were maybe forgetting that Mrs. Rosebloom is a McGregory.
Well, okay. That was a mistake.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Pastor Baum, if I may say a word.
Of course, Erica.
I've been listening to all the arguments that have been made today. I've heard it said that our church exists to love people. It was certainly there for our family when we had a rough patch over Christmas. We've never felt more loved. Isn't that right, Matthias?
Oh, sure. right, sweetie bear, of course.
But anyone who's a mother of children knows that one of the first priorities of loving children is to make them feel safe. Our children cannot thrive if they live in fear. They must feel safe. That's what moms and dads are for. And so we, the moms and dads of the church, have to make sure that our children, all God's people, feel safe. Otherwise, how will there be love? And so we come to the question, what makes us feel safe as a church? Or more precisely, what makes us feel unsafe? Is it Chip McGregory? Young Quincy has painted a picture of a man who isn't just suffering from PTSD. No, Quincy's real problem, by his own admission, is that Chip is a McGregory. And what does it mean to be a McGregory? Well, for me, it meant 3 square meals, a great education, and a mom and a dad who were always there for me. It meant the children on the playground rallying around me, much the same way this church has loved and supported our family over the years. But let me tell you about another girl. Her name was Liesl Schumann. Her mother died when she was very young, and her father was a drunk, and all the children knew about it.
Say, Erica, that sounds just like...
I'm speaking Chip. And Liesl was ashamed. Her family didn't have much to eat. Sometimes the electricity would go out. I found out years later that she saved all year and bought herself a pair of shoes, just so the other children would think she got something nice for Christmas. So what did the children on the playground think of Liesel? Did they pity her? Were they kind to her? Maybe some of them were, but that's not what I remember. I remember they said she was low. They said she was stupid. They rubbed it in her face that she had a dead mother and a drunk father. They said she was trash. Perhaps the children were right. Perhaps there's no hope for a Schumann. I don't know what happened to her. Many years ago I lost track. But here's the point. Was Liesel Schumann a threat to our school? The children on the schoolyard seem to think so, but then it seems to me that to be a threat you need both agency and potency, and those were the very things that those children took away from Liesel. And it always seemed to me that that was the real threat. The bullies who wanted to make sure you knew you were small, you were stupid, you were trash. That brings us to Mr. Quincy Seltzer. Or was it Quentin?
Quentin, that's me.
Has anyone felt more safe since Quentin's little security team has spread like a virus through the church? Does our church feel like a more welcoming place since we have men in black turtlenecks with tasers at the doors? And would my little brother have presented any kind of threat if Quentin and his men hadn't descended on him and exacerbated a situation that had been heretofore harmless? My brother has raised possums since he was 4 years old. He's taken them everywhere. And I've never heard of them hurting a single person. The possum wasn't the X Factor Sunday morning. It was Quentin. Sometimes I still think about little Liesel. She must have always thought it was her who was small, who was stupid, who was trash. I hope one day she realized that maybe the only small, stupid, trash people were the ones who hated other people just because they were weak. My little brother has always loved the weak things of the world, and I just hope, that makes him the perfect candidate for entry into this church. As for Quentin Seltzer, let's just say I have my doubts. Mr. Moderator, I move we go to a vote.
I second the motion.
That was great, Erica. Only remember, you have voice, no vote, which means you can't actually call the question. We need one of our elders to do that.
Ow! I move that we call the question. Wow, sweetie, what a great speech. Totally tip-top terrific, really carried the day, yes sir. I don't think you ever told me about Liesel Schumann.
Shut up, Matt.
Shut up. That's really rich, honey. Anyway, you really carried the day there. The opposite of the way I thought we wanted it, but, you really carried it. You're a regular Abraham Lincoln, or should I say, Babraham Lincoln. Wayne's World. Such a quality movie.
Excuse me. Hey, Quincy.
Ha! Oh, ha! Ha ha ha, Mrs. Rosebloom. Hey, you were so awesome back there. Hey, I just wanted to say, I'm so totally sorry if I caused you some offense by any little thing that I might have misspoke.
Until today, you were off my radar, and that was a good place for you to be.
Sure. But hey, you know what? I think we could work together because we both want the same things, and I'm really good with people. And
Listen to me, you little snot. You don't mess with my family. I'm going to assume you didn't know that because you're astronomically stupid, so you get one chance. And really, that's only because I don't feel like getting worm guts on my heel. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Get out of my sight.
But my car is...
Out!
I'm going! Well, everything's better than it ever was. I got myself a new girlfriend. I'm allowed back in church after 20-odd years. And I finally found Waldo. So why am I so sad?
Perhaps because that strange man is taking all your possums.
It's for the best, Claire. Alas, alas, alas.
I'm pretty sure the original Shakespeare, alas, is a bad thing.
I don't know about no Shakespeare, but Alas is a village in North Khorasan Province, Iran. It also stands for Advanced Light Attack System, a Serbian long-range multi-purpose wire-guided missile system.
Aren't those bad things?
Almost as bad as losing your possums.
Yes. Back up with the possum-mobile and open the back so that all of Mr. McGregory's possums may join the horde on their way to bliss and everlasting happiness in the possatorium.
Look at all them possums.
With yours, it would bring the count to 101.
Oh, Pink Eye, one day, girl, you're gonna wake up. You're gonna be surrounded by all your little friends, and you and everyone will be so good for Mr. Graves, and you'll think of me sometime when you ain't watching them Barbra Streisand movies or eating your little lemon squares or...
Mr. McGregory, let's get on with it, shall we?
I suppose so.
Get in, my pretties.
Oh, Pink Eye, I think I'll miss you most of all.
That's right, Mr. McGregory. You can place Pink Eye's gurney right there.
Freeze!
Lance, what you doing here?
Zorander Graves, I'm placing you under citizen's arrest for unauthorized possum wrangling.
What? There's no law on the books about that. Besides, the possums are my little brown friends.
Mr. Graves, I've had a bad week. So just go ahead, move another muscle and see what happens.
If you shoot me now, I will become even more powerful. And my driver will shoot you.
I think I'll side with Chip and Lance on this one.
Hi, Sparky.
Hi, Chip.
Zorander Graves is not who he appears to be, Chip. His real name? Dominic Adamitis. He's a disgraced Lithuanian fashion mogul with a hatred for possums.
A rabbit possum killed my father.
Well, that's sad, but that don't mean you gotta be racist against all possums. Right, little Ricky?
You took the words right out of my mouth.
His secret plan was to ascend the fashion industry again by crafting a special possum coat.
You fiend!
But how did you figure it out, Uncle Lance?
What? Simplicity itself, little Ricky. Step 1, go to his Facebook page. And step 2, read it.
That's pretty simple.
I knew I shouldn't have posted about my evil plan, but I really wanted to.
As it turns out, there is a law against unauthorized possum wrangling in this state, thanks to the lobbying and campaign donations of one Chip McGregory.
I am town dog catcher after all.
Take him down to the police station, Sparky.
You haven't heard the last of me, McGregory. All the possums will be mine, I tell you. All mine! I'll be coming for you, my pretties.
Come on, bub.
Oh dear. Now we have to find something to do with 101 possums.
It's just like that movie.
Yeah, Inception, 'cause it's so complicated. Well, I guess we gotta find another home for him, huh, Lance?
I'm gonna hate myself for this. Why don't you keep him, Chip?
What?
Why don't you keep him? Your home is the real possatorium after all.
For real, Lance?
For real, Chip.
Oh, happy day! Oh, happy day! Come on, little fellas. I just wish Pink Eye was awake to meet y'all.
Chip, look!
Pink Eye? Pink Eye? Pink Eye! Oh, Pink Eye, you're awake and you're alive! Oh, happy, happy day! Oh, Pink Eye! So many friends for you, Pink Eye! I'll call you Possum Head, and you'll be Disease Face! And I'll call you Possum 47. Thanks, Lance! This is the best thing you've ever done for me in your whole life!
Oh, I do what I can.
You see, little Ricky? Sometimes, when you give up what you like for what you love, you find Waldo, and you get 101 possums.
I'll try and remember that, Uncle Chip. What happened to Quentin?
He's still interning, but he made the mistake of getting on your mom's radar.
That's never good.
Not generally, no.
I don't know. He's a little monster, but also a survivor.
So's your mom, you know.
A monster or a survivor?
Some things a girl has to figure out for herself.
Uh-huh. But you and Chip are gonna help me, right?
Sure.
Oh, happy day! Hey, Pink Eye, I know you met Claire, the girl I know. But have you met Claire, the girl who's my girlfriend? You ain't never gonna run away, are you, Claire?
Nothing will ever tear us apart, Chip.
That's right, Claire. Nothing will ever tear us apart. Merry Christmas, everyone, and a Happy New Year!
101 possums. What are you going to do with them all?
Oh, I know. Come on, y'all. Let's go to church. Chip!
Excuse me, miss. It's about time for us to close up.
How about telling the kid to serve me one more?
I guess it won't hurt anything besides my bedtime.
What'll it be, miss?
It's kind of funny.
What's that?
Seeing you like this.
I'm sorry?
It's just funny, that's all. You don't know me.
I'm sorry, ma'am, or miss. Should I know you?
I don't guess you should.
You wanted that with soda, right?
You don't recognize me either, do you?
No, ma'am.
And here you go.
My name is Margaret.
What's that?
I'm your mother, Oliver.
Baba O'Reilly? What did she say?
You dropped my drink.
Yeah, I guess I did. I'm sorry, I just...
Maggie Jukman.
Recognize me now?
No, I can't say I do.
I've gone by a lot of names, Oliver, but when I had you, my name was Margaret. Call me whatever you want.
What do you want?
Well, let's see, Oliver. I want another drink. I want to say hello to my son after 22 years. And one more thing.
Yeah. What's that?
By any chance, do you know a Chip McGregory?
The Ville was created by Nathan Alberson, Jacob Menzel, and Ben Sulzer. It was produced by Nathan Alberson and executive produced by Jacob Menzel and Nathan Alberson. To support this work, please go to www.patreon.com/Sound of Sanity.